And we are live here with Peggy's beautiful layouts using Sunflower Summer, which is a lot of the staff's favorite line right now. Candace is watching. Good morning, Canvas. You're number one.
Yay.
And Betty. Good morning, Betty. And these are Peggy's layouts that you're going to get a chance to see her show. We've got some people hopping on. But before we do that, hi, Connie. We will go over and take a look at some new items. Look at the colors. I just have to focus on the colors. They're just beautiful. Okay, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. And come on over, Peggy.
And Mother's Day
we have
weekend.
a few things to show that are new. I don't want to get you seasick here. So, if Peggy, you want to just share with us some of the new things that just came in?
Let's start with the Lawn Fawn die cuts, because we have a few of those. We have some numbers, we have some letters. We have a set of numbers by Lawn Fawn. These are really kind of a nice size. They're maybe inch and a quarter, inch and a half, maybe.
Those are a nice size.
They are a nice size. These are LF 588. I don't see a name for them, but $14.99 for the set, which is nice, and it has, you know, the punctuation too. I think that's always a nice thing. And then we have another set from Lawn Fawn that are numbers that are just a little bit larger, and that's really nice. $22.99 for those. These are a little more, I don't know, I think they're a little more playful. A little curvier.
Yeah,
and then we have another set.
Wow.
And yeah,
something
3 new
for
sets.
everyone.
So yeah, 3 new sets of numbers, and these are $14.99 as well. So a little thinner. I think those are really nice. Then we have a stamp set.
Peggy, Cheryl's so excited to see your layouts.
Oh, well, thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl, I hope you guys like sunflowers, because that line is so pretty. I really love it. Cardabella. $15.99, and these are called Violet's ABCs. So a nice set of stamps for lettering.
And what I like is they give you 3 or 4 of the vowels, and all the letters have at least 2, so that you can spell something out.
Isn't that nice? And put it on there so you get it all straight. And then happy birthday to you. This is really cute.
And that's all one piece.
Yep. And you kind of see it like on the back there, how they've done it.
The last number dies, how big were they?
How big? You know what? I have a ruler right here. Let me grab it, and we will measure. I have my handy dandy Tim Holtz ruler, because I don't go anywhere without it when it comes to scrapbooking. These are 1 inch. They're 1 inch tall.
Okay.
So, and that first set that we showed, they are just a smidge under 1 inch. And the second one that are larger, they're 1 inch and a quarter.
These are a little funkier. I like those.
1 inch and a quarter on those. So then we have happy birthday, and then we have this one, and this is a diagonal gift card pocket die. So for those of you making graduation cards or birthday cards, if you want a little pocket in the corner of the card to put a gift card in, there you go. This is going to make it
set
easy
for you. Very nice.
$10.99 for that one. That's really nice. And then let's go to All and Create. We have a couple new stamp sets with them. This is a postage one. I'm trying to find the name of them here. It's number 1158, and this one is 1161, and it's kind of like the coffee stain that we used, kind of just it'd be kind of neat to use like on something that has mixed media, I think.
The names are down the side.
Right there, okay.
Can you see it?
Trio Cirque, C-I-R-Q-U-E.
There you
So
go. That's
trio
the
circles.
trio circles.
And this one is called Franking, Franking, F-R-E-N-K-I-N-G. So there's that. All and Create.
There you go. And they're just
$6.99
little.
each. Yeah, they're not real big. And then this is really a fun thing. We've got washi tape in from Alt and Create, and these are really neat. This one is number 10 fragments, And if you can look, I don't know if we can pick it up, but it's got scissors, and for all you sewers out there, it's got what do you put your thumb?
A thimble.
Thimble, thank you. And then it has like a spool of thread, and then back to the scissors. So that's really fun. And this one is probably, it's an inch wide. So that's a nice size. And then this one is called Cut, Tear, Lager, number 9. And it just has a bunch of different, it's like, I think it kind of goes with that fracking stamp. It's got some numbers on it.
And
kinda
little
cool looking.
postage marks.
Yeah. So that's
I
kind of
like
nice.
that.
And it's a little bit wider, so it's going to be maybe inch
so
and a half.
There we have the 2 different ones that she's shown us. This is the sewing one. And what was the name of that one? Fragments. And then this is the wider. Let's turn that around. And that one was called Cut, Tear, Layer.
Cut tail way. I can't read. I'm sorry. My contacts are old.
Oh my gosh, I
Okay.
couldn't figure out what layer.
Lager. Okay, that Y looked like a G. In my defense there. Okay, this one is called Eclipses, and I know that's right.
Very
so
good.
for all of you that are, still
Oh.
working on your pages, this is a great tape to use on that. I think this is really fun. So the different stages of the eclipse.
Yes, I like
So that one's really fun too.
Hi, Angie.
And then we have Mother Nature. And Mother Nature and I, we have had a few conversations this week with the storms that we've been having, because she knows that I don't like them so much. And she can stop raining anytime. I think she listened because today's a nice, bright, sunshiny day here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So this has bugs on it, just, creatures of nature.
And that one was called what?
Mother Nature.
Okay.
And then we have Winged Friends. So this one, I'm not real sure. I'm going to guess it has like some little birds, maybe some butterflies. It's kind of an interesting one. I don't really
Yeah, it's
see
got a
lot
little
of
bit
birds.
more browns.
Yeah.
It's more than
More than just black and
just
white.
black and white. Yes.
And
I
then
like
this
that.
one is called Crafty. And it says embrace, fun, shine. Those are all words that are on it. So you can kind of see it. I'll go this
Nice.
way with it so you can see the
Wow,
words.
I'd like to see these on, put down.
On a project, yeah.
Yeah.
I would too. Those are kind of cool. And then they also have, we showed some of these new sets yesterday, and this is number 8, and it is called Tiny Words Color. So 140 pieces in that. And some of the words lucky, plan, love, sorry, do it, live, spirit, passion.
They're very colorful.
Heck
Can you
yeah.
flip it around?
Yeah.
And we were talking about how many pieces were in a page or in a package, and that's got like 140 of them.
140, yeah. And I like the little loopies on the end of them, So if you want to, put a little mini brad or a little gem or something like that, you can. It goes right there. And then
How about if I just
yeah.
scroll over these and we can talk
Yes,
about those?
the new archival ink color sets. Aren't they just beautiful for summer and for spring and summer? I just really like this one. This is such a pretty combination.
This one, I think they're in order. Set 1, set 2, 3, and 4. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one's your favorite?
I like that. I like those brighter colors. I think they're all
Yeah.
really pretty.
So those are the new
Yeah, I can see
dilutions.
a few of these colors that would go really well with our pages
Yes,
today.
and these are $13.99 for 4 of them. And this is archival ink. So archival ink is permanent.
Yep.
It's not like Distress.
Nope.
Okay, and it looks
Okay.
like you've got one more
We
thing.
got one more thing. We have a new line of Stamperia paper. I'm trying to figure out what it's called. Stamperia. Shabby Rose is what it's called. Shabby Rose is what it is.
This reminds me of Grandma's wallpaper in
Right?
in bedrooms.
And it's
that
kind of
gorgeous?
a notebook of them. So the pages are kind of attached here. But look at that.
Wow.
So pretty. Mother's Day is just 2 days away. Wouldn't this just be, I can see this as kind of a background for a page about my mom, our
Yes.
last name was Rose, and how perfect would this paper be
Really?
for that? Yes.
Your last name is Rose.
My last name was Rose, yeah. So how perfect would that
Oh
paper
my gosh,
go?
you've got to have that.
Oh,
And look
I
at
think
the
I
envelope. You
do.
could cut that out and make it into an
Yes.
envelope.
Uh-huh. This is the first time I'm seeing it, so yes, this is beautiful.
Wow.
I love it.
Wouldn't that make a great little book?
Yes, it
Put
would.
together,
Yes,
everything
it
would
would.
coordinate.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I
Yep.
did not know your last name was Rose.
Yep, that was my maiden name.
Oh, lots of hearts, lots of hearts.
Oh,
look at these
that. There's the
postcards.
wallpaper. There's the
Yep.
wallpaper.
I think I had something like that in my bedroom at one time.
Isn't that just
Yes,
so pretty?
beautiful.
Oh, I'm loving this one.
Dawn says she loves that paper.
So, so pretty. Look at that. In green and in pink. So, so pretty. Oh,
Well, this was
wow.
meant to be, you need that.
I think so. Gosh. You know, I always say to myself, I'm not taking anything home today. And then I do every day.
It's
So,
beautiful.
yes. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. That's a really
Shabby
pretty paper.
Rose.
Shabby Rose.
And how much is that?
There isn't. Oh, there's the price. It is $15.49.
Okay.
$15.49 on that one.
All right.
So,
Are
do
we
we
ready?
have Penny's cards from yesterday to show it all? I don't
Oh,
think we do.
I do. We can go back and
Okay. Yep. Just
I've
kind
got
of
'em all
recap
laid
from
out here.
yesterday. Her plain and simple, or clean and simple.
Yep, these are Penny's cards from yesterday. And she was nice enough to make up little cheat sheets, and there's the stamp that she used. And she made up little cheat sheets to go with them, telling what colors she used. Those were just beautiful.
Yes. You
All
know,
right.
and we do have our clean and simple week coming up next week.
Yes, and
So-
everybody's getting ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just pan over these before we get started because they are absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I just love all these colors together. I guess that's
Yeah, we're
just-
using the Sunflower Summer by Carta Bella, and if you've been watching me, you know, for long, you know that Carta Bella and Echo Park are you know, a line that I really like a lot. I use.
the Carta Bella
Many of their
papers are
lines,
just
yes.
so beautiful. But this
They
is
are,
the
there's
collection
texture.
kit. Yes, the texture
Yep.
is great,
how-
and that is $15.99, and you get the sticker sheet with this collection kit.
Yep.
Those are the, oh my gosh, those
And
are
here,
just beautiful.
this one is my very favorite. I love this one. When you put like a brown ink on this, and the Carta Bella papers, one thing I love about them is that they have that texture, so they take the ink really well. And the one thing I really love about this paper is when I put ink on it, the brown ink, it seemed to brighten it up.
Wow.
It just, I mean, it just gave it a new life, and that was kind of exciting for me. I really did like that a lot.
Lots of hearts, Peggy. And can you show them the matching, the
Yep,
coordinating
we have the
solids?
planes. We only have one of the planes in stock as a single sheet, but we do have the package with
The
all of the
collection
solids.
kit
in
of the
collection kit.
solids.
Yep.
And how
these
many
are
do you
so nice.
get?
You get 6 sheets, so you get 2 of each. And they're double-sided, so, you know, the yellow and brown go together, you know, the coral and the green, the orange and the pink, they're all, so you get 2 of each.
And
so
the collection kit is how much?
it is $6.49.
Okay.
$6.49 for that. And
And did you use any of the ephemera?
I used the titles and phrases on a couple of the layouts. But we do have the ephemera, and we do have the frames and tags as well. So we do have, there's the ephemera and the frames and tags. So it comes with all of this. So you get a lot, you can get a lot of different pieces to coordinate with what you're working on. So pretty. It also comes with a die that you'll see in the layouts too that I used. And there are a couple different stamp sets too.
The die is
right here.
amazing. I didn't pay much attention to it until I saw Peggy's layouts. Look at that. So it comes with the two different sizes and the middle has the little holes that give it that texture.
Yep.
And that is $14.99 for that die. But you know, even if you didn't want to make them sunflowers, you could make them any color and just make them like daisies.
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
So,
And I've got one cut here, and I'll show you how to put it together here in a little bit later. In the
okay.
video. So
She has this set up so beautiful. I don't want to mess it up.
we have the.
And of course, we have our twine.
Yep. Uh-huh. I'm not sure what color that is.
I'd say it's yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
And so twine is always nice to add to your things.
Yeah.
So this is probably one of my favorite pages from this line.
one?
It's all the little different seeds,
Seed
like
packets.
little seed packets. I like that. Okay.
I've got most of the pages. We can go ahead and we can show all the different colors.
Sure, the pages
here, too,
inside
yeah.
the collection
Maybe
kit.
missed one. So, you know, it has, I mean, who would have thought that these colors, you know, pink and yellow and the gold, the orange, the mint, I mean, when I first saw it, I thought, how do those all go together? But the more I worked with it, the more it became obvious to me that it really does, it's just a beautiful summer line. So, you know, the pink with the little flowers and your cut-aparts.
There's your cut-aparts.
And then again, my very favorite yellow. And then the seed packets.
That's the seed packets.
And
I
you can
love
use this as a
those.
full background. You can cut them out individually. Whatever works for you, I think is
I've got a little
so
project
nice.
that I'm going to be cutting apart those
There you go.
coming up.
And then we have the orange. And you know, I am typically a B-side girl, so I mean, you're going to see a lot of the B-sides on my projects today. But this plaid I thought was really pretty. And this is where it shows how all those colors all work together, I think. And it's just very pretty. And we have the green plaid, the gingham with that. And I just really like this too. I like, you know, we're going into our clean and simple week. You know, it's got
I was
lots
just
of
going to
white
say
space
that,
in
yes.
it too, so it's really nice. But you know, if you pair this with this, you know, I mean, I think this is a really nice combination together that you can layer or, you know, use side by side on a layout. And then the beautiful green to go with it. I just really thought that was really very pretty. And then the yellow plaid. I mean, how can you go wrong with a plaid like that? And then the fun bumblebees in there too on the mint.
Yes, that's
So cute.
unexpected.
And then the mint background. And now the back side of this was one of my favorites. I love these large, I love the large floral. And a lot of times with the Cartabella, you're going to see that large floral on at least one sheet of paper in the collection. It's so pretty. And then the orange, you know, pull that in there too. It's kind of a ready orange. It's not a true orange. And then the chickens.
I love that page.
Okay.
Love,
we
love.
Oh, we have
this-
something.
Oh,
Just in,
oh,
everybody.
here it is.
Breaking news.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mitzi. Happy birthday to you.
We want to wish Mitzi a very happy day today. It's Friday. It's beautiful here in Iowa.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
sure it's beautiful at her house too. And Mitzi's a customer that drives a little bit to get here, but comes in quite often.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mitzi, we hope you have a wonderful crafty day.
Yes.
And that's compliments of, I think, three
I think
friends.
3 of her friends
Yes.
wanted to wish you a happy birthday. And, geez, should I look it up here,
Gosh,
Maggie?
they must know she watches us every day.
Well,
I
do
believe
say
they
that.
said they couldn't be with her on her birthday.
It's from Lisa, Penny, and Rhonda. So, and
There
from
you
all of
go.
us here at Memory Bound.
Yes.
Have a great day.
It's great to have wonderful friends.
It is. It's really
I
nice.
love that.
Happy birthday.
All right. Yay.
Okay,
Yay.
Susie, you have a great day. Okay, and I think we already showed, did we already show the plaid with the orange? I can't remember.
No, you have
But yeah,
not
so
shown that
pretty.
yet.
Okay, so the orange with the plaid.
All right.
So pretty. Those are, and then I think there's one other one. It's a pink plaid.
Yes.
In here, and I don't have that one over here with me. I missed that one when I was pulling
That
paper,
one-
but it's very pretty too.
It is a cut apart, and it's this
it
page
the
right here,
4 by-
and we have a kit coming up with that.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Oh,
So
and then there's this one too.
excited about
There's
that.
that. And this is a
Little
little more of a
baskets.
bluey green, more of a teal
Yes.
green. The little butterflies or flowers, whatever you want to call them there. I don't think I have the pink one with me. I didn't pull that one.
I didn't see it.
Nope, I didn't pull that
No,
one,
but
unfortunately. Oh,
you'll see it soon
you'll see
because
it.
it's going to be a kit. So
So yeah, so those papers, so pretty. Really love this line. This was when we first saw this one. I think we had a lot of oohs and ahs and excitement about this line coming out. So
well, and
very
this
pretty.
it's just such pretty summer colors,
Yes,
but it's
nice
got
and
a lot
bright.
of colors that are going to take you right into fall. Like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, the oranges and the
that.
greens will take you
Yes.
into fall. So, and the blues and the
So it's a paper
pinks are
for
going to keep you in the summer too.
3 seasons
Yeah.
anyway. Yes.
So we're going to get started. We're going to start on this one right here, and I'll just I'll move it over so that you can just hold things up, and we'll talk about this one a little bit. This one, I knew that I had these pictures from a few years ago. It was the COVID year, so anytime we got together, as the journaling stated, we basically had to do things outside. And that fall, there were a few sunflower farms in our area, and so my daughter and I and her mother-in-law, we all went to one of the sunflower farms locally just to let the boys run and just to be outside and spend some time together. So it was a really sweet afternoon that we spent, and I wanted to kind of show that on this layout. And I wanted to show a lot of the different rich colors within this collection as well. So I started with the white background because I knew that these colors were really going to pop
And
a
they
lot.
did.
And so I wanted, to ground it, pretty neutrally because I knew I wanted the brighter colors. And as I said, this sunflower pattern was kind of the driving force when it came to designing the page. So I wanted to kind of show that. I wanted to use that as a little bit of an extra matte on there. Here I tripled it. I got brown, yellow, and then the white with the two pictures.
love it.
The pictures are both 3x3, just cut down to that size, and I think they fit really nicely on there. And then I had banners in my head for some reason as I was doing it. And so if you see down here, I have a large banner, and I repeated that by the banners up here. So I think one thing that you're going to see in the layouts today is repetition of elements in the design. And I think that is one thing that kind of can make your layout go from, just a very basic layout to popping it up a little bit, and giving it just that little extra oomph is the repetition. So, the banner down here, the banners up here. I wanted to add in colors here, and my circle punch happened to be laying on my
sitting
desk.
on your desk? Huh.
And so did the paper. So I thought, well, let's see what happens here. And so I just, punched out a couple different colors, and I actually, with titles and phrases, there were some of the banner pieces that came with it, and that's kind of where I drew my inspiration for which papers to use on the circle punch as well as the banners. So because my banners on here are a little bit bigger than the ones that are in the package, they just weren't quite large enough for me. So I did that. I put those together, and then as I got to looking at it, I thought, ooh, this needs a little bit of a border, and I happened to have just a little slice of green laying on my desk.
In there. What a
So
good
just put it
tip.
in there, and that just kind of gave it a little bit of separation, a little bit of definition. And I think that really helped pop out the yellow in this paper, and then gave this, an area of its own too. And then down here, this is one of the pieces from the titles and phrases, and I really like the titles and phrases when it comes to, if I want kind of a title that has more to it than what I would get by cutting out letters or die cutting letters or anything like that. I like using the titles and phrases because you do get that. And although I didn't use this one in any of the layouts, this was one of my favorite ones.
So what's your
in the
favorite?
package. I really like that. I like the shape of it. I like the design on it. I like the colors on it. But you get, so many different pieces, and this is great for card making too. It isn't just about, doing layouts, titles for layouts, but it works for, this is a really pretty one too. I like that one a lot. And you get like all the different colors as well. So,
Well, I think that
they're just
I
really pretty.
love
They
that
do a
they
great
started
job with
doing the
this. I do
titles
too.
because that's newer, maybe in the last year.
Yep. And then you can just, take one of those little pieces and pop it in there too.
Was that in there too, that
Yep.
little bead? Oh
Yeah, you
my
get a
gosh.
pink one, a blue one, and a yellow one in there. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, you get some great pieces, in the titles and phrases. And like I said, they work well when you want a title that is a little bit more than just die cut letters. And that's the one thing I really like about that. And so I just kind of put that on there on top of the green plaid. And then I thought, well, it needed a little something more. I happened to have some of the yellow twine. I just wrapped that around and tied it in a bow. I think that just gave it a little, again, the repetition of the color in there just kind of popped that out a little bit. And then here at the top, I used, from the sticker sheet, I used the little border piece that's at the bottom. Usually, almost all of Cartabella, Echo Park, they'll have, a border that runs across. And I just used a little bit of that because I really like that design.
Border. Okay.
Yeah, that little, this one here.
So is that You
And
Are
so I
the
just cut
Sunshine
it.
of My Life? Is that from there too?
It is. It's this piece, and I just cut it.
So you'll see that right up here. And
right at the
Peggy,
top.
did you know that Kansas is the sunflower state?
Kansas is?
Shelley says good morning from Kansas, the sunflower state.
Well, then this line is for you.
It's
You
the
must
Kansas
get it.
line.
You must get it. It is perfect.
And you know what's really funny? We had the Wizard of Oz
Yes.
earlier,
It
which I
must
think
be
of
our
Kansas.
week.
It is.
Our Kansas week there. So, but yeah, I cut that sticker, because I didn't need the whole thing and I didn't need, that length, but I do like what it said. And then I added, my journaling. And then we also have these that are so wonderful because I thought my journal box right up here needed just a little something.
And that's a brad. That's a
It's a
sunflower brad from
Yep.
Eyelet Outlet. And
Yep.
how much is that?
$3.49, and you get a dozen of them in
Oh, you
here.
get 12.
Yep,
Okay.
you get 12 of them in here.
And Peggy, we have a question about your your orange strips around
here?
and how you mitered the corners. And I think you've talked
I'm
about
gonna
that before.
show that later.
You're going to show that? Okay.
I'm going to show that later.
Hang on.
So
hang on.
hang
to your
on tight.
hats.
Yep. Because we are going. I have a little surprise. We're going to do this layout right here. When I got done with that, I decided that it needed a second page. So we're going to put the second page together.
Okay. All right.
So I've got everything together, and I'll show you how to do those corners.
Okay. Perfect.
So yeah. So that's this is the sunflower die from the set.
And we
Here.
didn't.
I just
Did we
really
not
this.
have that? And that's the one you asked us
Yes.
to order.
Yes.
It looks really, really cute
Yeah.
made up.
And so here are the pieces that are in it. You get the background one, you get the top one, and then you get the two pieces there. So there they are.
Oh my gosh, those that's really cute.
Yeah.
And that die is $14.99, and I'm going to flip it over so you
Yeah.
can see it here with it too.
And like Maggie had said earlier, you don't have to cut it out in yellow. You can cut it out in any color that
Right,
you
make
want.
other flowers.
So, I think that's kind of the beauty of it. Now these up here are this is from a die set that I had at home. I pulled a couple other die sets that have something similar to it, where you can do your greenery and then just add a little bit of the orange or whatever
So
you want.
Peggy
to add.
pulled out Floral Abundance, and what's really exciting, I don't know if you knew this, but this one's half off,
Yeah.
and it's got lots of little leaves and pieces.
Yeah.
So it's normally, I think, $24.99, so it's $12.50. And then the other one she pulled out is called Wild Blooms 1, and it's also, you found some bargains.
I
This one's
did,
half
I
off
did.
too. So it's normally $19.99, so this would only be $10. This is designed by Lisa Jones for
But what I
Sizzix.
like about these dies are the number of different pieces that are in them, and you can just mix and match it with so many different things. I mean, I like the greenery. You can add that to anything. You can cut it in any color.
Well,
it doesn't
this,
have to. Yeah.
this piece looks kind of like what
right
you
here.
did
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
Try not to go too fast, but and that's Floral Abundance.
Yeah. So I mean, those are great dies. Or if you just have any dies, that to give you that height and a little bit of pops of color work really well. And then I use my yellow Nouveau drops.
Oh,
Right in there. Oh, and I was going to tell you guys a tip on these Nouveau drops, thanks to my friend Chris, who I was talking to one day, and I was telling her that I had a couple Nouveau drops that I didn't use that color very often because it seemed like they were kind of thick. And she gave me a great tip.
What's that? I want to know.
Well, this is so scientific, you guys will die. But you just take it and you just
Put it in your pocket.
right there in your waistband
Put it
for
in your
about 5
waistband,
minutes.
warm it up.
Warm it up, and then you use it.
That's a
and,
great
and
tip.
it thins it out. I mean, it makes it so much smoother. So yeah, if your Nouveau is too thick,
And what
put it in your
color is
waistband.
that called?
This one is dandelion yellow.
Dandelion
and that's
yellow.
what I used on this. Dandelion yellow.
Good summer color.
It is. It's beautiful. And this was one of my ones that was a little thick that I shied away from using, even though I love Nouveau. But when I did that, thinned it out, and it just flowed out so nicely. I just pulled some colors of ink that went with this line. I used the mustard seed and the brush corduroy on the layouts, but all of these colors I think are just so pretty.
So
with it.
you use brush corduroy and mustard seed, but then we've got speckled egg
Yep.
and wild honey and mowed lawn.
Yeah, because I just think those colors looked really pretty with this line.
They do. Peggy, you made such a nice, Maggie maybe showed it earlier, but I mean, oh my gosh, look at, when I walked over here, I was just struck by all of this beautiful, beautiful things displayed.
Well, we're going to go, the next one we're going to do, I'm going to leave this.
Yeah,
up
what are we
here.
going to do next?
We're going to do this one next.
Oh, and that looks kind of like a quilt.
So we're going to do this one next. And this one was actually the first one that I did when I first got, well, I shouldn't say the first layout. It was the last layout I finished, but it was the first background that I put together when I got this line, because I just really liked it, and I wanted to use, a lot of the different patterns and colors that are in the line. I just thought it was so pretty. And I had an idea in my head, but it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. So, I had to improvise and change things up a little bit. So what I did with it, I put this on here, and then I decided I needed to stencil. And here's the heart one. This isn't the exact heart stencil that I used because I have an older one at home.
What a neat one
But
for
this
hearts.
this is one to put on there. And, if you have one that has like little flowers in it, or, any small little shape will work. I just happened to pull out the one with the hearts on it at home, and I used the mustard seed ink, and I just stenciled just across
the middle.
the page. And I just really, and then I thought, well, I'm going to have to repeat that heart, in different places
So the heart
on here.
stencil, in case
Yeah.
people would like to order this, it's called It's from Make-A-Wish Birthday Girl, and it is called Birthday Love Hearts Stencil. And I'm doing more stenciling now too, Peggy.
Yeah.
That was my goal last year, and I didn't make it, but I'm working on it this year.
I'm going to do a little bit more too, I think. I want to try to do a little more stamping and a little more stenciling on my layouts. Will I do it? I don't know, but it's
Well,
a goal.
it's a good start right
goal.
here.
It's a goal. So I, went with the diamond pattern, and these are just squares that I used. I think they're maybe 1.5 inch squares, maybe 1 3/4 inch squares, and then I just turn them on an angle, and then.
And notice she left just a tiny, tiny little bit of white space
In
between
between
them.
Yep, just a little bit. And sometimes that helps, because sometimes when you cut them by hand, they're not always perfect. So if you can leave a little bit of white space, that kind of will jog that out. That'll kind of, even that out, so you can't tell that they're not quite perfect. And so that's why I kind of did that. I did have to kind of measure out. I cut my white down to 11 by 11 because I wanted to have the yellow border on it. And so then I had to kind of figure out, go from a half a diamond, and fill in there. And so I had to do a little bit of math, but you don't have to do that. Just put them on there. It works.
Because really you've got your picture over it, so they don't have
Yep.
to meet in the middle,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. And then I use the same squares over
I
here.
don't think I would have thought
Just
to do
kind of
that. I
add
really
a little
like
bit
it.
of color there, just to kind of start your eye and bring it across. Is kind of what I liked on that one. And then I used these.
The 49 in
The
Market.
49 in Market, yeah, 49 in Market and Cartabella. came together on this layout.
Okay, so those are their dimensional handmade flowers.
Yep.
It's called Sunflower. What a name.
Yep, $5.99. And they come in 3 different sizes. You get 3 different sizes of sunflowers in there. This one has a lot of orange in it. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like they vary a little bit because they are handmade.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they come in 3 different sizes. They're really nice. And again, as I talked about the repetition, here we go, repetition, repetition, repetition. You know, we're repeating the patterns.
Which is good.
And this is your visual triangle in there too. So that helps with that. And after I did the background on this, I kind of put this layout aside because I had a couple different pictures that I was thinking about using on here, all, you know, of the same event, but something was missing, and I couldn't figure. It was a title that was missing, and even though I love the titles and phrases from this line, they weren't quite right. They weren't quite as serious, maybe, as what I wanted. They didn't quite say what I wanted them to say, and so yesterday when I was here, I grabbed.
Just found it yesterday?
I did just yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I struggled for 2 days trying to figure out. 2 days I struggled trying to figure out the title on this. And yesterday I came to work and I thought, I'm going to look at this because it has the yellow in it. It's the Crafty Garden ephemera bits from 49 and Market. And, you know, it's got my yellow, it's got the green in here. And it has so many different pieces that I thought, well, I'm going to get this. I'm going to take it home and play with it. And then I grabbed the ochre mini laser cuts too, because they're all in yellow. And I thought, yellow is the color I'm going for here. And I got home and I sat down, and within 15 minutes, I had this title. I just used the different pieces of the ephemera bits, and I just stacked them.
So the ephemera from Crafty Garden, and this is what I used earlier this week. So it's funny how
and I saw
that
that piece.
Did you really?
On one of your projects, and I thought that's my title.
So it's just kind of cool how you can just pick this out and you can combine
the different
really
lines,
different
the different
lines.
companies, yeah.
And that was the Crafty Garden.
So, you know, the laser
ephemera.
cut, and the laser cut, and then this is from the ephemera up there. And you guys know how I like to add words, you know, here and there within my clusters. These are, I needed some stems for the sunflowers and just a little bit of color. So these are from the laser cuts as well, there and here, and then out here.
And you probably have a million left over.
I have a lot.
There's so much
I have
in the
a lot.
package.
You do, you know, especially the ephemera bits. My gosh, you get 114 pieces. I don't know that I can use 114 pieces all year, but I did my best to use a number of them.
You did use quite a few.
In here. So, you know, I just stacked these. I did use some dimensional tape to pop some of the elements up to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I used is that the
bubbles? The
And I
wishing
forgot-
bubbles and
yes,
baubles.
the wishing bubbles and baubles. I forgot to bring those over. And I forgot to bring those over with me, but I did use as the little dots, the little
So the Crafty
bugs.
Garden, well, really all the 49 and Market
Yeah.
main collections have what they call wishing bubbles and
the
baubles.
wishing bubbles and baubles from Crafty Garden.
They have them, and I've told people, I've mentioned this before, that they usually are the first thing to sell out in collections.
You know, and
they're
I
so
love
popular.
that, like the circles, they're solid, they're striped, and they're dots. So the dot, the stripe, and the solid all in the same color. So you can use that and mix that around for a little bit of dimension. And then the hearts are in different sizes as well.
Perfect.
And those are just so pretty. And again, that was yesterday. I was walking by and I thought, well, that's going to be perfect for this layout.
So there's the wishing bubbles and baubles from 49 and Market
And I
Crafty
used
Garden.
these gold ones right in here. And then I used some of those hearts.
And look at some of them have little words in them.
Yeah.
So they don't have these for like ochre or teal or charcoal, but they do have them for their main collections.
And I used one of the ones, the one that says my family. Right
Oh, perfect.
there.
And these are $5.99
Yep.
for 136
Yeah.
epoxies.
And I love, you know, all the different colors and different, the stripe and the dot. And I think that just gives it a nice little texture as well. So again, you know, I just stacked this up to make my title. And because you get so many pieces in the ephemera package, you can, make titles for days that way. You can,
you can.
this can be a border on a page too. You can kind of stack it up there and make
I
that a
count
border.
7 pieces on this, Peggy. I don't know if I missed any, but you've got, from the ephemera, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
And several lasers.
on the
A
one-
lot of
yeah.
different pieces.
Yeah. So, and then, the little dragonfly came out of the.
Oh, you have a lot of
workies and
little
bubbles.
details that you don't really see until you point them out.
So I think I think those are the things that really made the layout here. Without those, it would just be missing something. But the title block.
Well,
is how that came together.
to me, what
Oh,
stamp
right over
jumps
here
out.
too.
Oh, okay, there's
I
another.
didn't count those. This is actually
more?
a frame. This one is a frame, and then this is
Okay.
just a tab. But yeah, I just
For me, it
layered
was
those.
the blocks behind the pictures that really jumped out. Very nice layout. Everybody loves it. There's lots of comments about they love your layouts. They're beautiful.
Well, and the thing about this one, because you're just using squares as your background, it's really very easy to put together because it is just squares and they're just, turned on the diagonal to make them look like diamonds.
And you could do that
So
for
it's
other
very
themes
easy.
too.
Yeah,
You
can
could
use
do it
it
for a
with
lot of themes.
any colors, any paper line, it will work. I was actually listening to a podcast recently, and Paige Taylor Evans was on it. And someone had asked her, how do you continue to come up, with these ideas and things? And her response to that was that she, picks out some of her favorite layouts that she's done, and she just scraplifts them.
Scraplifts her own layouts?
her own layouts, and
Love
repeats
it.
them because she loves them, but she uses different papers on it, and so they look different. Or, she may rotate it.
Right.
And it's going to give it a different look.
That would be a good sketch right there.
So, yeah,
And that's what we
I
hope
think,
that you get from our videos.
right.
We do things like this every morning, and I hope you get that from Peggy's videos that, maybe I'm not going to do sunflower, but look at the great idea I got from Memory Bound today.
So now we'll go to this one. And we have a surprise, and I have a surprise
You have
for
a surprise?
you, with this
Ooh.
one right here.
Well, this is gorgeous.
And my surprise is, well, I'll talk about it here in a minute, and then we'll go to the surprise.
Oh my gosh, those flowers. You did some die cutting, Peggy.
I did. And again, I brought some flower sets over that will work for these. The flower sets that I use, like these flowers, came from one that we had not too long ago that was flowers in envelope. That was by Sizzix again.
Oh, yeah. I think we still have that one.
Do we?
I
I didn't
think so.
see it over there. I know we had
don't
it
know.
last week during the sale. I know
Okay,
I
maybe it's
had
gone.
seen it. But that's what most of those came from. And I really drew from the, let me find it here, that big floral paper in this
and
collection.
I guess what I'm seeing when I look at this, Peggy, you see a lot of flowers and a big design, but then you see the big sunflowers.
Right.
Here we go.
So this
was
what,
your inspiration?
This was my inspiration for the flowers and the colors I chose to do it, because I used all of I used the solid colors for the coral flowers. I used the orange pattern from the 6x6 for the little daisy ones, and then again my favorite yellow with just a gold cardstock background for the sunflower. But this is what I drew from. This is how I kind of decided how I was going to do the flowers. I wanted, the round flower in there, and I wanted kind of a layered flower in there as well, on there, and then of course the sunflower, and then I wanted, the little stems coming out too, and I wanted to utilize those colors.
It looks really
so
good.
This was my inspiration piece, and actually I had intended to use this as the background on it, but then decided, it might be just a little too busy. You really couldn't see as much of the blue in here that I wanted, because I wanted the blue to be the background. I wanted to show that.
You did use it, but you used the back of it.
I just used the back of it, exactly. So, what started in my head didn't come out on the paper, and that's how, it typically is for me. I'll start something and it'll completely change.
And how nice that your daughter was wearing the sunflower color.
I know,
And you have this, your sweater is the color of kind of the coral
that are
pink.
in there, yeah. And actually, this page started in this direction.
Oh.
So that's why this is at the top of the page. It started in this direction. I had the background all put together. And then I was going to journal down here. This strip wasn't there. I was going to journal down here. And as I started working with it, I thought, I don't really like it that direction. So I turned it.
Well, that's
this
what
way.
you can do. It's a free world.
Yep, exactly. So I turned it this way, and it started to work better for me. And so I used, just my little framing technique, with the gold, and then I put, the solid blue in because I wanted to frame it up just a little bit more.
So this is one of those things you don't notice, but she's got a little strip of blue. Looks like, I don't think it's even a quarter of an inch.
Yeah. It's an eighth of an inch.
Eighth of an inch.
This
wow.
is a quarter of an inch. This is an eighth of an inch. But I just wanted to frame it in and kind of, have a guide, for the flowers in there. And then I went to town with my die cut machine.
Yes, you did.
And just started cutting
You did
stuff.
a lot of die cutting.
And so then I got this all put together, and I thought, well, it needs something over here. So I thought, well, we need to pull all these colors together. And so, I just cut from that plaid paper so that, the blue and the pink and the coral and the yellow is all right here to kind of bring everything together on there. And then I thought, well, it needs, the yellow around there to kind of pop everything out. Again, the repetition of the yellow to the yellow there with the photo mats. And then this is from the frames and tags, or phrases and titles and phrases. This is from that. And so this was my birthday last year. And for my birthday, the last couple years, my husband and my kids have given me the gift of time, a day together. I get to pick.
Wonderful.
They let me pick what we do, and they have to do it without complaint. So, if I said, oh, I want to go shoe shopping all day, they have to go with me, and they cannot complain. So they call it Peggy Day, and, I'm happy to do that.
There's the date stamp. It looks like the Heidi
Swap date stamp on that. And then, I put these together, and I thought, I always feel like I have to have that fine detail, that enamel dot.
Of course you do.
And you'll see that I did bring over the puffy hearts, which are, any of these colors would have worked.
So we got bumblebee and tangerine and swimming pool.
And I happen to have the brown,
the bonbon, and that's
bonbon.
coming. That is probably arriving Tuesday.
We
got more of those
use
coming.
The heck out of this with a coffee week, and so I just happen to have these at home. And the other thing I really like about these two is that they go from light to dark. So light to dark.
I didn't really realize that.
So you'll see my bottom ones are the darker ones. My top ones are the lighter ones that I kind of pop in there.
That's a Peggy detail.
So, because the color goes light to dark, so I'm going to go light to dark, when I use those. So any of these, I think, will be, if I had these at home, I probably would have used them because I think they're so pretty. The orange is awfully pretty with the sunflower, too. I think that's really, really, really pretty.
It's all gorgeous.
It is so pretty. And then, you'll see I have little die-cut flowers, and then I use the little sunflower brads.
So there's the brads that we showed earlier.
Yep. To kind of just...
That are from Eyelet Outlet. And didn't you say get 12
you get
in
12
a package?
in there. And so I use those to kind of frame, and kind of bring your eye to the clusters, around there. And I just thought that added a nice little touch. Just a little, flower that you can die cut. And then I added, in the middle, I added the aquatic mist. So it has a little bit of sparkle to it, but it's a great color to go with this. It's so pretty on here.
Well, Lisa says it's all in the little detail, and when you get Peggy, you get a lot of
you get
really
a lot
good
of little detail. Yep, you do get a lot of little detail. Well, now comes our little surprise because
look at here, we have to work.
When I finished this layout, I got to looking at it and I thought, I never do this, but it needs a second page.
So we're going to make
So we're going to do a second page.
Awesome.
We're going to do the accompany page with this. So I think we still have time. Yep, we're going to do this real quick.
We're very good. And people were asking about your little skinny borders.
Yep. So
and
we're going to do those.
You've done those on every layout today.
Yes, I have. And the one with the diamonds, I didn't have that on there. until last night when I got the title
added
on
it
there.
on.
And I added it on because I thought it needs a little bit of definition. It just is too plain.
It makes it pop.
Yeah,
Makes the middle section
and,
pop.
And the way I do it, because I use the little strips of paper, and because, as I have said in the past, I am not the best at planning ahead when I do my layouts. Had I, if I didn't do, the little strips, I would have had to cut a large sheet of paper to mat the white. I would have had to pull it all up to put it back down. So being able to just, use the strips is so helpful to, add that on there. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I've got everything pre-cut here. I just have the 12 by 12. This is Color Vibe White that I'm going to use. And the blue.
So the Color Vibe, you can see the little dots. Julie says, "Go Peggy."
I know. She would be
Companion
proud.
page, you know
she
it.
would be
She's
proud of me for
smiling.
doing the second page. She always gets on me about that. So Color Vibe White, and then again the mint with that. And this is cut 10 by 10.
So 10 by 10,
10
which
by
is,
10
I assume, what you have
Is
on
the
this
same
page
there.
is 10
Yep,
by 10.
same there. And my Easy Runner. Take that. And I actually keep 2 of these on my desk.
You keep 2? Oh,
I
one
keep
with the
2.
dots?
One with the repositionable,
Repositionable.
and one with the regular. If I'm going to put something on here that's going to have to hold some weight, I will use the regular. If it's something that I'm going to move around a little bit, I'll use the repositionable. So I'm going to just lay these side by side so that I get the blue in the right spot. And I may
It's going to look, it's good already, just adding that second
so just
and lining it up.
line it up right there.
And we get to see Peggy's process, although she's already thought this through.
Yeah, so I've actually planned ahead on this. Imagine that.
Yay.
Okay, and so then what I did here is I'm just going to do a photo block. And what I've done is just cut 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 white, 8 1/2 by 8 1/2 of the yellow. And so that's going to be my companion piece on here. So I'm going to put that on next. And this is where my photos are going to go.
You always have such great photos, Peggy. If I'm
Mostly
doing a
thanks to my
project and I
daughter.
have to find photos, it's a struggle.
You should have seen me finding these photos this morning because I knew I had printed them, but I didn't want to
then where
dig
did
for
you
them,
put
so
them?
I reprinted these 2 for the
Oh
demo
my
today.
gosh.
And then I thought, well, if I'm good, because I woke up this morning and I thought that needs a second page, and I think that's what we're going to do today. So that's what I did, and it's like, well, now I have to find the photos to go on there, right? So I have my photos, and these all start out 4 by 6. I don't know what order I'm going to put these in, but these are just the things that we did when we were.
Well, and you are
in the
upside
set.
down, so
So,
you don't use your repositionable, because change it, you might be changing it up.
We went to a cidery, so that's why you see that. The boys, they had live music, so the boys got to sing and dance.
Did
and
they
things.
dance?
Yes, they did. They had a good time.
Our little grandsons love to go to music things and dance.
So yeah, so that's where my photos will
Oh,
go
so you
on
have
there.
just a little bit of white
Just a little bit in
between
between,
them.
right?
I love it.
And I'm gonna just switch because this is good.
So I wanted, while you're gluing those down, here's the picture she had from the sunflower. Is that the place where you go and you have your photos taken?
It is actually Gustafson Farms, which is just north of Boone. And they had a bunch of areas set up. This was a bunch of different photo area opportunities set up, and one, had the little tractor there. And that's where she was with the little boys on there. So that worked out really well.
This is good for family photos, maybe summer fun.
Yes.
Maybe even your garden. I think you could do a lot of good garden pages with sunflower summer.
And I'm going to say, if you guys are ever in the Winterset area, their city park is where we went this day. It was obviously
I thought
a little
I recognized
It was a little windy. You can tell that by my hair. But that city park is really a lot of fun for little kids. It's got this hedge maze, and the little boys love that. It has a replica covered bridge. It has a lot of tree sculptures that.
So Winterset, for those that are out of state and aren't familiar, it's about an hour from Memory Bound, and it's John Wayne's birthplace.
Yep.
And then it's also Bridges of Madison County, where the
Yes.
Clint Eastwood movie. And here's what one of the bridges looks like.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to do.
This is what everybody's been waiting for to see about yours.
Okay.
I call them sticks,
yeah,
but your
my
strips.
So, and you know, I am not. I like doing things the easy way. I don't want to think about, well, if I'm going to miter a corner, I'm going to put it on here, and then I'm going to have to cut this, and then I'm going to put this one on. I'm going to have to cut
Will
that.
they match?
No. It's too hard to do that. Too hard to match it up.
We want to know the easy
So
way.
what I
Peggy.
did was, this is 10 inches, and I know that this strip is 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut. I cut this to 10 1/4 because everything is going to be flush there, right?
So if you were doing a 1/2 inch, would you cut it 10 1/2?
Yes.
So you cut it whatever the width, an extra whatever the width is of your strip.
Right. Cut whatever you're going to go around, and then add whatever the width of
Okay.
the strip is. So I'm going to just put this on here, and I've inked the edges of this already. Just
We call that the Rachel Ray, where you pull your casserole out of the oven
Yep.
after you put it in. You have another
and you'll
one
see
waiting.
that, you know, my 2 strips here are different sizes, and that is because this one is going to go on the bottom. It's a 10 1/4. This one is coming here, but it had to be 10 1/2 because I had to add this quarter and this quarter.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
if I were
Trick.
going to go all the way around, every one of these strips would be 10 1/2 because I'd have to have the quarter and the quarter.
So whatever your length is, and then add on your width of your strip. So okay,
Right.
I would have cut them all the same. So that's good to know.
And this one, I've actually, I use the repositionable because sometimes I have to move it around a little bit.
Okay.
So, and it's not going to hold any weight, so it's okay that it's the repositionable. So now I have those 2 pieces on there. Now my next one comes right here. And so I'm going to lay that on there. And did I bring a pencil?
Well, you have to
over
cut
here?
exact, don't you?
I do.
Do you need a pencil?
a pencil?
Maybe.
I think I put one in here actually.
If not, there might be one. I can go
Oh, no, I didn't put one in.
look in that drawer
Okay.
back there, I think.
Yeah.
All right, we need a pencil.
Need a pencil. I thought I threw
And
one
Peggy's
in.
going to show us about mitering. Like, I'm going to zoom in over here, and you see where her corners are mitered perfectly. And if you're a woodworker, you might know how to do this already.
But this is
Or
the
a quilter.
easy
I
way
think they
to
do
do
this
it.
a lot
This
in
is the
quilting.
easy way to do it. So I'm going to lay that on there. And then I'm going to take a pencil mark and just put it right like that. And I'm going to put it right like that. So that's where I'm going to
So
cut
on the
it.
inside corner.
Right? And so then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut from the corner to that pencil mark. And there's my mitered corner.
Tricky, tricky. Love it.
Now, it did take me a
Let's
while
see how
to
it
figure this
fits.
one out.
Well, I'm glad you figured it out for us, Peggy,
And
so we don't have to figure it out.
Then I'm just going to use some leftover ink that's on my thing because I want to be able to see that mitered
And that was
edge.
brushed corduroy that you used
Brushed
on this
corduroy,
too?
yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So today for her brown, she's using brushed corduroy.
And I use brushed corduroy almost all the time for my brown. That seems to be my favorite one right now.
Favorite. It's not too
That's what I'm
dark,
going
not too
through right
light.
now.
So
Yep.
here it is. You can see it on there, on that little cut apart.
And then you want to make sure that, you know, whatever adhesive you use, you get it on that tip.
On the tip? Okay.
Right? So now
That's a good tip.
it's going to come right here.
Oh, here we go, guys. It worked.
There you go. And that's how it's done.
So that is excellent. I think everybody was wanting to know how to do that. So so everyone understands, on this one, would you have done it just on this section on the right?
Yep, just on this one that comes on the top. I just cut the ones that, and if I do it like all the way around on 4 sides,
Right.
I'm going to lay down 2 sides and they're going to have, you know, the straight edges on both sides. And then the opposite sides are the ones that I'm going to cut.
Okay.
Okay.
So that would be this page, for
Yep.
example, where she's
Yep.
got it going all the way around.
Yep.
And
So
it looks like maybe you put the top and the bottom on.
we're on first, and then the side ones came next, and those are the ones that I cut. And when I do like this one, if it's, because I don't have a paper against it, this is just, on the one.
Oh.
So I will take.
How do you line it up?
I will take my Tim Holtz ruler and I will lay it on here and line it up.
Okay, and look at you guys. There's little marks on the ruler that you can line it up with.
So I'm a 1/4 of an inch in. And that's how I do it, and then I just lay it on there. So I have the 1/4 of an inch, so I know I'm getting
They always look so
centered.
perfect when you do it.
So I know I'm getting it centered here, and I'm a 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the page.
Okay, we know Peggy's trick now, everybody.
So yep, that's Tim Holtz ruler. Like I said, I don't go anywhere without it if it comes to scrapbooking. Okay, so now we have that. So now to kind of match things up a little bit, I'm going to put another banner on this side just to
Good idea.
just to balance it out, just to, again, repetition is what I'm
It's
what
funny
I'm
because I
doing.
thought this banner was tucked underneath a little bit, but it's not. It's just right
just
up
on
next
the side.
to it.
Yep. So
You
so we're
guys,
just
we
gonna
are
do that.
making a page live with Peggy.
So I don't know.
Susan loves the border. She says it's beautiful and makes the page.
And the nice thing about doing these is it takes very little paper, so you can use, if you like, if I wanted to use the backside of the mint paper, I would have that to do it. I would
Right.
have that strip to do it. I'd have, that 12-inch long or however long I needed. I would have that and would just take a little bit. So you can use, little scraps. You could even cut that out of the paper and use that as to go around.
Especially if it's just a 1/4 of an inch.
So now what I'm going to do, I thought maybe I was going to print on this and just put, where we were that day and put this in the middle of the page. So that's going to go on that. And then I thought that I would probably maybe add a little, put 3 little hearts down here
Oh,
like I
like
did
you
here,
did over there,
to
yes.
kind of repeat that. And I would probably just use the medium and the smalls instead of the large one because it's a smaller piece. But it depends on
Love
how
it.
much I did there. So now I have my little pieces of.
Luckily, you've pre-cut all of these.
I was cutting these at 6:30 this morning.
Oh my
so-
gosh, Peggy.
Because I woke up this morning
And
and
decided
thought,
to do this?
I need to have a second page. So yeah,
Oh.
so we got up and we did this.
Well, we appreciate that a lot. My gosh.
So here are my pieces. And I just, cut the pieces that I used over here. I may not use all of them on this.
You've got
but-
options.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to first, almost
Something
lost my
fall?
sunflower. Don't want to lose that. If I can pick it up here. There we go.
Losing.
Yep, my hair.
We don't
Okay.
want to knock off your other leaves.
Alrighty, so I'm just gonna, and I just kind of go in the middle. I don't do the whole thing. And let me see.
So that just stacks.
So
Because
that kinda
this
just
is the
stacks on there,
Sunflower
yeah.
Summer. It's called Sunflower Sunshine Die from Cartabella that Peggy showed us earlier. It's $14.99 and it has 4 pieces. So both the petals and the center are 2 layers. And it's a nice size. It's not tiny and it's not huge.
It has a little bit.
So it's good for cards and everything else.
And I use my Zig pin as adhesive on this because there's so many little holes in there.
Yeah.
So I can kind of control it a little bit more. And that will go right on here.
And your tweezers. It's always
Yeah,
nice to
tweezers.
have tweezers. I think
Gosh,
I have
yes.
those same ones from Mrs. Grossman's, it looks like.
Yes, I've had them for years. And then this is just going to go in the middle.
Well, you made that easy.
So it goes together.
We've got a
really quick.
sunflower, everybody.
And so I think I'm going to start it, kind of overlap onto the photos a little bit in that area. And then this one, it's just, again,
So
layered.
you start with the biggest flower when you're
I
doing
start
a
with the
grouping?
biggest one, yep. I
Okay.
start with my biggest one and go from there and kind of work out from the middle to the outside. And it's going to be similar to what the clusters are on that first page. I'm not going to deviate a lot from that. Again,
So she's assembling this flower right here.
Yep,
It's kind of a coral pink, which is a good which
And
is the
these are
color in the
yeah.
collection.
These all of the solid colors that I'm using on here come from the collection.
Oh, okay.
So they are from the
so
solids.
she's using
yep.
the solids and this from some
Yep.
Sunflower Summer.
Right.
Then you know you're getting a match, don't you?
The green is actually a cardstock that I had at home. So that is in it. And I'm just going to kind of pull this.
This has been an excellent collection. We've had it, I don't
it's
know,
really
a couple
nice.
weeks, do you think?
Yeah, it's just really nice. I'm going to put those on there. Tuck that in there a little bit. And then maybe pop
I like
that
how
back
your
there.
flower cluster is going to be off to the side. I think that's going to be really nice with the other page on the right.
I'm going to kind of fold this one a little bit to give it a little bit of...
And Janet just linked the Sunflower Summer collection. So
good.
if anyone wants to see it, I'm going to say in person, not really in person, but if you want to be able to look at it in detail, she's got a link out here for us.
Okay.
And Peggy's using the
use
Zig.
I
the
would
Zig
actually
glue
use my
pen.
Yep, for some of those. On these leaves, because they're dimensional, I did use Nouveau glue on them.
Okay.
But I shouldn't have probably done that quite so soon. Okay. So.
She's got to roll up her
Yep,
sleeves,
I'm gonna do that.
everybody.
I might put
Well, we're
this
really
one right
putting
up
you on
here.
the spot because,
That one there. And then I'm going to just...
but it's kind of nice, Peggy, because we get to see your whole thought about how you arrange things and...
So I would probably, if I had the right things with me, I would use some foam.
Well, you can
dimensional
ring the
tape.
bell. We can get
That's
you some.
okay. That's all right. We're still gonna see how it kind of layers in there. So we're gonna do that and kind of tuck that up underneath a little bit.
So it's kind of symmetrical, which is over here is very symmetrical also. I'm going to zoom in on this little flower grouping.
And as I was, kind of working with this collection, I kept thinking to myself, why did they put the coral with the mint and with the yellow?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
You're kind of
was just
wondering
like,
about it, but it's one of your favorite companies.
But it is, But as I got this all put together, when I got done, I thought, now I know. Because it just is so beautiful together. The colors are so pretty together. They just...
Well, and I think what Peggy told me when we were talking about this was, so she's done a couple layouts that, I don't know that traditional is the right word, but she's done more of the yellow and the green and some orange on both of these.
Yep.
And then she wanted everybody to see how different it looks. This doesn't look like a sunflower summer layout at all,
no.
depending on the papers you use.
Right? I'm going to just tuck that underneath there and tuck this with it. So we have all of those colors.
So I
in
guess
there.
Cartabella gives you options.
Yes, they did. More than I thought I needed.
But you took advantage of it, so that's good.
And I really like it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there.
So she's just kind of putting adhesive in the middle of the flowers,
Yeah.
and then she can tuck
Tuck
things underneath.
in and it works that way. And get a little bit. I always like to have a little bit of green. If I'm going to use a flower, I'm going to put.
You
a little
always
bit
put
of green
greenery in?
Yeah, just because it just looks a little more natural that way.
And she took her leaves, I don't think you saw it, but she took her flat leaves and kind of folded them down the middle.
Yeah, just to give them
Just
a
to
little bit.
make them dimensional.
Yep. And then I've got these smaller ones here that I'm going to put with the smaller flowers.
Okay. And Janet said your mic sounds a little muffled, but
maybe because I was just talking really
maybe
soft
she's talking
there,
to
too.
herself.
I was. That was on me.
We're watching her assemble this layout for us, this page 2, which to me is kind of page 1 because it's on the left,
Right.
but it ends up being,
Yep.
it's her second page she's making for it.
It turns into a 2-page layout that I don't do
So
very
you don't
often.
do 2-page layouts?
Not very
You
often.
are very unusual then, because most
I
people
don't.
like 1-page layouts because they don't know what to do on the next page.
See, in 2-page layouts, typically intimidate me.
Well, this is funny then, because I guess looking back, a lot of your layouts are one pages, but I never really thought about that, Peggy.
I do a lot of one page because, I don't know, it's where my comfort level is. And sometimes you got to get out of the comfort level, I guess. But
you're out right now.
I am right now. I'm outside my box. I'm outside my usual box. And that's, and that's all right. That's how we learn. That's what I tell my kids anyway. You gotta try things, that are new, in order to find out, if you're good at it, or if you like it, or, if it might be something that you love doing. And I can tell you this, when I started scrapbooking, I fought it for a long time. I had a girlfriend that kept trying to talk me into scrapbooking. I said, no, I cross stitch. I do, I don't need to do that.
A lot of people have stories like that. It's kind of funny.
I don't need to do that. I think I would.
Even Diane is one of them, but
and I don't need to do it.
I think her comment was, "Who has time for that?" or whatever.
Right?
And look at her now.
Was.
She's.
I was, and so step outside that comfort zone, and you're going to find some really great things. I think. So go like that.
Looks good.
I'll pop this one in there too.
And I'm impressed that you just kind of die cut flowers and were able to figure it all out and put them together, and you knew how many you needed. That's terribly
was playing
impressive.
with it this morning. I don't know if that's where I went.
And I think you got up earlier than I did too, Peggy.
And I am not a morning person. I don't know if anybody knows me that well, but I am not. I could put like that sunflower in the middle if I wanted to, but I think I will use my reposition bulk so I can take it off when I get home and write on it.
Yeah, when you get your journaling done.
Yep. So I would do that probably.
And Janet just linked some tweezers, because if you don't have a set of tweezers, they are a really good basic tool. So check it out for maybe a good Mother's Day gift for yourself. Peggy, I read somewhere that anything you purchase this week and next week can be considered a Mother's Day gift.
Oh, I think so too.
So,
I think
okay,
so
let me
too.
get
What
back
do
a
I
little
need?
bit
What
so
do I
everybody
need this
can
week,
see the
right?
whole.
So and then, put.
Oh, and she's got her
couple of these
bonbon
little bonbon
puffy
hearts.
hearts from Doodlebug.
And again, I'm combining colors here, and that's all right.
And speaking of Mother's Day, everybody, we do have gift cards available.
Yeah.
For yourself, let your family and friends know, or for your mom or grandma or stepmom, aunt, and you can order them online. If you don't have time to shop and you're not local, you can just go right online and they're delivered right to your email inbox
There we go.
immediately.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, that's cute. That turned out really nice. And Peggy's going to do a journaling here of their location,
Just where they're at.
where they were.
So there's page 2.
I love it, Peggy. It's really nice. And I think everybody else does too.
So there we have it. Sunflower Summer, and it's a beautiful line, and again, it's by Cartabella, so you know that it's going to have that wonderful texture to it.
Yeah, it's got the felt. What do you call it? Felted paper? Or what
Is
do you
that
call
what it's
that
called?
texture?
I don't know,
I'm not
but
sure.
whatever it's called, I love it.
I had an
It
idea
is just
that
my favorite. It holds ink so well, and it's a little bit heavier, and I love it. I love it.
Well, I think everybody loves the hearts and the thumbs up are flying in. Peggy, I think everybody, once again, Peggy does it again. Our superhero with page layouts, and I think everyone enjoyed it. And I think we had a lot of people that love seeing the mitered corner and how you did put your flower grouping together and your layouts with the sunflower summer from Cartabella. It's just beautiful.
And again, the 49 and Market, Crafty Garden and Ochre go really well with this line. So combine those. If you've already got the 49 in Market, or if you've already got the Sunflower Summer and you want another complement to either line, go ahead and get that. It's wonderful. Oh, you know what? I didn't put any little fine details in with my clustering.
Oh,
we have to have that as
fine
part
details.
of it. That is part of the clustering.
Mary Ann says love, love, love. Billy
Thank
says
you.
it's gorgeous. Billy Sue does. I totally agree. And
Gotta have some fine detail.
Peggy, thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
And I want to let everyone know that you're back. Are you back next Friday in a week
Next
or Thursday?
Friday, yeah, next Friday.
So Peggy's back on Friday with wedding layouts.
Yeah.
So everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people have wedding pictures like me that they've never done anything with them.
Right, yeah.
So we're going to be anxious to, I'm going to be very anxious to see that, Peggy.
You'll see some layouts from my
I've
daughter's
never done
wedding.
my kids, anything with my kids.
They'll be from my daughter's wedding, and in scrapbook life, she's not married yet, even though it's been 9 years.
She's not married yet, but
Yeah, got
she
two
looks
kids,
pretty married
but,
right here.
so
So Peggy will be back on Friday, and
Yep.
then on Monday we're kicking off something different called Clean and Simple. So we're going to
I'm
talk
excited
about that
about
and
that.
show some examples of Clean and Simple, and then for the next couple weeks you're going to see a lot of Clean and Simple layouts and cards, and Janine is doing a planner pages that are clean and
fun.
simple. So it's going to be
That'll
very
be exciting to see.
It will be. So Peggy, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thanks everyone.
Yeah,
Happy
thank you.
Mom's Day to all the
Everybody
moms
have a great
and
weekend.
grandmas and stepmoms and aunts and everybody out there. Have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be beautiful here for our weekend. And thank you everyone once again for being here and supporting this little adventure called Memory Bound.
Yes.